Yes, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Can I start? Now, how to understand the research process? Okay, that is why the heading is understanding the research process. How the research process you are going to understand. See, it is a systematic and you can see it is a rigorous process of investigation. Okay, you are research means you are investigating on something. Okay, on any topic. Okay, and the outcome will be some innovative. Okay, some new things, some new knowledge, some expanded form of knowledge will be gathered. Okay, now simply if someone is curious about the particular topic, suppose the fundamentals of research methodology, it is very much essential to conduct the meaningful impact of the studies. Okay, it is very essential to conduct the meaningful impact. Okay, so you need to understand that why we do research. First of all, the question will arise that why will we do research. Simply the answer is we do research because to expand the knowledge and understanding the world. We used to do the research on anything else. So what will be the outcome? The outcome will be something innovative, something new, expansion of knowledge. Okay, will be there. And after that, on some particular topic the research work is done. Okay, and on that particular topic you need to find out or you need to expand the knowledge. Okay, and this will going to create an impactful result after completing the research. Okay, we'll come to the end of a fruitful result that yes, this is the outcome of the research we are having. Okay, ma'am, please go to the next slide. This is the understanding process of research. Ma'am, next slide. Ma'am, please go to the next slide. Hello. Hello, am I audible, ma'am? Please go to the next slide. Yes, thank you. Now, the next one is identify. You need to identify what are the problems in research, on research. Okay. The foundation of any successful research endeavor is the identification of meaningful and well defined research problem. This process involves critically examining the existing knowledge, identifying gaps or areas in need of further exploration, and formulating a clear and focused research question that can guide the investigation. Effective problem identification require a deep understanding of the subject matter, a keen eye for detail, and the ability to think critically and creatively. Okay, this is the thing you need to understand how to identify the research program. This one is one of the most important factor, how to identify your research project or how to identify the research problem. Whenever we do the research on any topic, first of all you need to identify what are the areas and what are the in that particular areas what are the problem will going to arise and arising the problem, what are the solutions we need to have, we need to go through. This is called the identifying of the result. And in this process lot of things critically exist. Okay, suppose you need to examining the knowledge. Okay, you need to identify the gaps, where are the gaps are there, how to fill up those gaps at least. Okay, you need to meet up those gaps. Okay, how to further explore, how you need to keep the explorations and formulating a clear and focused research questions. Okay, so you need to focus on the questions that can be have effective. Okay, Effective problem identification require deep understanding of the subject, and apart from that, you need to understand, you need to have the knowledge before doing the research. Now you need to have a very good depth knowledge. Okay, then only you can do the research fruitfully, otherwise you will unable to do the research very fruitfully. Okay, because the research has the ability to think critically. You need to think critically and creatively, and on the basis of creativity and critically, lot of questions will going come to arise in the minds of examiner or in the mind of researchers, that how you have done this research, what are the respective areas you need to do work, and what are the areas you need to improve. Okay, this is the one of the most relevant questions they are asking, and on the basis of that you need to answer those questions. Okay, so this is one of the most important things, that first of all you need to identify the your subject, and after identifying the subject you need to understand the areas of the subject, you need to understand the exploration of the subject, you need to understand what are the problems or what are the critical evaluations or formulating the expansion of the knowledge we can go through this particular subject which you have been chosen for your research work. Okay, so you need to understand those things, and identifying the research work doesn't mean that you need to write it up all those things. First of all, you, okay, you've selected the subject, okay, it's fine. Now you need to go, you need to expand those knowledge, you need to go deeper into those knowledge. Lot of references, lot of journals, lot of articles, lot of books you need to read. Okay, you need to find out what are the solutions and what are the critical, or where is the knowledge has been expanded, or rather it is being stopped, what are the steps and measures and requirements that have been taken, what are the lot of things you need to go on identifying. First of all you need to identify or jot down those problems. Okay, after jot down those problems, you need to make up those problems through expansion of the knowledge, through references, through critical works, through a proper notes you need to give. Okay, and then only you can come to the conclusions of the research identifying. Okay, so this one is very much important, that how to identify the research problem. Okay, so basically remember one thing, whenever the question comes that what are the research, how are you going to identify the research problem, so you just write it down the answer. The research problem critically examining the existing knowledge. Okay, existing knowledge, after that identifying the gaps. Okay, further explorations, and formulating a clear and focused research questions. Okay, formulating the further research questions that can guide the investigation. Okay, that can guide the investigation. This one is very much important. The guide the investigations means whosoever is your guide, or whosoever is under the fellowship you are doing your PhD, whenever you will going to present the research work, you need to first of all reading those articles or reading the journal or reading your research paper, they can identify the explorations of knowledge that you have been done throughout your research work. Okay, this is the main important part of the that is identifying the research problem. Okay, ma'am, please go to the next slide. Yes. Now, what are the sources for problem identification? This one is very much important. What are the sources of problem identification? First of all is literature review, observation and experience, collaborations and consultations. This is the sources of problem identification. First of all, literature review. Literature review means it is a crucial steps in identifying the research problems. Literature reviews means identifying the research problems. What are the problems that has been come while doing the research on the particular subject you have chosen. Okay, so literature review, the heading itself suggests that first of all you need to identify the problems, you need to analyze the problem, you need to studies previous theories, finding research, journal, articles, you need to go through those and find out the problem, exact the problem, or exact the areas where the problem has been arise. This should be mentioned in the literature review part. Okay, this should be mentioned in the literature review part. Then only your paper will going to be accepted. Because if there is no problem, then what is the use of writing the art journal? What is the use of writing the research paper? If the problem is not there, research means you are exploring something new. So if you are exploring something new, first of all there should be a problem. Then only you can explore the new things. Then only you can come to the answer part. Then only you come to the solutions part of those literature review. So literature review itself a problem that you have mentioned in your research work. Always remember one thing, this section is something another section. Okay, you need to mention the problem part. You need to mention the problems, what are the problematic areas are there where the things have been gone through. Okay, identify those researches. Okay, findings, uncover the gaps, inconsistencies or areas that want future further investigations. Okay, so these are the things you need to go through those. After that, observation and experience. This one is the next, observation and experience. You need to, after completing of the literature review, now slowly the next process will be there, that is how you will going to observe and experiences the problems that has been come through. That may means you need to have your experience, you need to put your observations through the proper answering, you need to put the particular subject matter, you need to put the valuable information, sources, research problem, what are the valuable sources are there from where you are finding the problems that has been arrived or that has been mentioned in the literature review part. Okay, you need to identify the issues. Okay, you need to examine the issues. What are the areas, where the issues have been created or where the issues has been arise, and what are the major steps you have been taken while removing those issues. Okay, so this part is called observation and experience. You need to put lot of you need to put lot of theories, you need to put lot of experiences, you need to put lot of observations through different diagrams, through charts, through different graphs. Okay, through proper diagrams, that these are the solutions you have been come through while going or identifying the problem. Now another important part is there, while doing observations, what are the interactions that have been done with the subjects. This one is another important thing while doing the observation part. Okay, always remember what are the interactions you are having with the particular subject matter. Okay, means how many references, how many books or how many journals you have been gone through, that will be mattered a lot. Okay, that is mattered a lot. Okay, now how from particular subject, what are the problems or what are in that particular subject. See, listen one thing, before I come to the deeper into this sections, I want to mention that I have also mentioned in the earlier, those who have done the research work, for from their point of view or from their perspective point of view, they have come to the solutions. And now if you are thinking of the same topic, if you are choosing of same topic, okay, not same topic, of same areas, if you're choosing your topic from the same respective area, suppose say your field is HR field, suppose you're choosing any topic from the HR field, means you need to go through those journals who are related to the human resource. Okay, now what are the experiments or what are the questions or what are the problems that has been arrived while any researchers have gone through while doing the research. Okay, you need to read those things. Okay, now when after selecting those topics, now what is your observation, what is your experiments on the behalf of the particular area where you are want to do your research. You need to put those experiments, you need to put your observations in that particular section, that is observation and experience section. And how you have identified those problems, this one is another important part. How you have identified the problem, how you come up with this problem, how you identify the problems, what are the problems are there, how you have treated those problems. Okay, how this research help you identify the real world issues or phenomena. Okay, how this research help you to come out with identifying the real world issues or phenomena. Okay, what are the merits of examinations that you have done? You need to mention all those you have done during this research period. Okay, so this one is very much important, observation and experience. This one is very, very important, so be careful while mentioning this thing. Okay, now come to the last part, that is collaboration and consultation. Okay, how you have collaborated. Suppose if you are writing loan, there are many options are there. You can write with some of your taking with some of, you can write your research paper in a group, you can write the research paper individual, you can write research paper in two of both of you of the same field. Okay, so in this collaboration and consultation, you need to engage, you need to mention the engaging of the experts, professional or members of the community of the same field. Community here means of the same area. Suppose you are doing your PhD in research, take for granted. Okay, now you need to choose your expert of the same field, that he has completed his research in the same HR paper only. So how you are interacting, how you interact with your expertise, how you interact with your professions, okay, or your profession or your community. Okay, what are the thoughts you have, they have been given, you need to mention those things also. I work with this professors, this the guide, they have mentioned, given this problem and they have finded the solutions in this way. You need to mention those things also. Okay, you can also you need to mention what are the problems you have been faced while doing the research. This is also one of the most important part. What are the problems that inform the research problem, doing the research? Then what are the issues you have focused on your research paper? What are the areas you need to work through? And what are the solutions you have come up while talking or while making or while doing research with your expertise, help from expertise? Why, how they have helped you? What are the materials they have been provided? What are the help that you have been getting from there? You need to, each and everything you need to mention in the collaboration section and consultation part. That is one of the most important part. What are the variable points you need to mention? This one is also very much important. What are the variable points are there you need to mention? What are the perspective or what are the informations of the research programs are there? You need to mention those things also. Okay, apart from that, you also need to identify the issues. You need to identify those issues, those focus, those areas where you will going to understand or identify the problem. Understand, then only the research work will be identified. So this one is very much important. The sources, first of all, while doing the research, you need to find the sources. In the sources, the first thing is literature review. What is the meaning of literature review? Literature review means what are the steps in identifying the research problem. This one is very much important. What are the steps you have taken while doing the research problem? Theories, findings, uncover the gaps. What are the inconsistencies, areas are there where you are working? Okay, what are the further investigations you have done while doing the research? So this is part is called the literature review part. Another one is observation and experience. This one is also very much important, doing observation and doing experience. What are the observations are there? What are the experience are there you have been gone through? Okay, while doing the research. Okay, what are the sources are there? How you identified the sources? What are the problems that you have come while identifying the problems? What are the issues are there? What are the phenomena are there? What are the experiments are there? You need to mention. Okay, so I have already mentioned these the points. Okay, whenever the question asked in the essay type of questions, or whenever you're going to get appear for the examination, you're going to get the question in this format. Suppose, what are the sources for problem identification in research? This may be the question. So you need to mention or you need to answer this question in such way, in this way. The sources for problem identification in research areas are, number one is literature review. And in the literature review part, you need to mention what are the literature review. What is literature review means? and you need to mention what are the areas. So what is the literature review means? It is a step in identifying the research problem. Simple, this much only. It is a step identifying the research problem. This is called literature review. And in general, or you need to, if you need to elaborate this question, then how will you write? It also mentioned that it analyzes the studies, theories, finding, research, and also uncover the gap, inconsistencies that further फॉलो फर्दर इन्वेस्टिगेशन. जहां से पहले इन्वेस्टिगेशन रुक गया था, एक जगह आके स्टॉप हो गया था, आप फिर वहां से इन्वेस्टिगेशन कर रहे हो. जैसे मैंने कहा, आपका ह्यूमन रिसोर्स पेपर है, सपोज फॉर एग्जांपल मार्केटिंग रिसर्च और ह्यूमन रिसर्च पेपर है. अगर मार्केटिंग रिसर्च पेपर है तो मार्केटिंग रिसर्च के जो भी एरियाज है, जहां जहां तक उन्होंने डिस्कवर किया है, उसके बाद आपको और उसमें काम करना है. व्हाट आर द एरियाज यू हैव फाइंड फाइंडिंग्स. ठीक है, तो पहला आ जाता है रिसर्च रिव्यूज. उसके बाद आ जाता है ऑब्जर्वेशन एंड एक्सपीरियंस. ड्यूरिंग योर रिसर्च, व्हाट आर द ऑब्जर्वेशंस यू हैव डन, व्हाट आर द पर्सनल एक्सपीरियंसेस, और व्हाट आर द इंटरैक्शंस विद द सब्जेक्ट मैटर यू हैव गॉन थ्रू, व्हाट आर द मैटर्स और व्हाट आर द एरियाज यू हैव मेनली फोकस्ड ऑन द, what are, how you identify the research problem. Okay, so this one is also very much important. And the last one which you need to understand is collaboration and consultation. Collaboration and consultation means, suppose if you are a single author, it's okay, fine, whatever the research programs, findings, solutions, whatever you are doing, it is up to you. What you are solely doing. Now if you have a collaborations with some guide, with some professor, senior professor, with your student, with some another same, with another suppose with another friend, with your another colleague, if you're doing your research, then what are the areas you have done, how you provide the valuable insight, what he has provided or she has provided the valuable insight or informations to you, what are the problems are there, how you solve those problems in collaborations with other, how you find the issues of the research. Okay, so these are the part you need to mention in collaboration and consultations. Okay, so these are the three areas. Number one is literature review, number two is observation and experience, and number three is collaboration and consultation. These three are very, very, very important. Ma'am, please go to the next slide. Yes, now the next one is self questioning in problem definition. Self questioning in problem definition. What are the self-questioning in problem definitions is, number one, relevance, number two is feasibility, number three is novelty, number four is clarity. These are the self-questioning in problem definition. These are the self-question in problem definition. Number one is relevance. In this research paper or in this research problem, significant and relevant to the field of study or the community aim to serve. Okay, self-questioning. Self-questioning means you are bound to give answer at the time of interview or at the time of paper presentations. These are the questions being asked. Okay, problem. What are the problems, important problems that you have faced? What are the important problems? Why you have chosen this subject? What are the problems are there? You need to find it through. Okay, you need to go through those subjects. Okay, how you serve. This one is also very much important. Then the next is feasibility. What does it means? Effective investigation. Okay, effective investigated with valuable available resources, time and constraint. These are the questions they will going to ask. What are the resources, from where you have gone find those resources? What are the sources of the resources we have find out? Okay, what are the problems, efficient, effectively, how you investigate this problem? This is called the feasibility. Another work is novelty. It's of something which you are in contributing to the society or contributing something new to the resource paper in a knowledge and meaningful way. That should be in a knowledge and meaningful way. This one is very, very important. Okay, this one is very important. Does the research paper offer any insight contribution on the existing body of knowledge and in a meaningful way? So this is the questions they will going to ask you, and you need to answer this question. The last one is clarity. What is the meaning of clarity? Clarity in the research problem. Clarity define well articulated research questions or hypothesis. Okay, well articulated, it must be defined, the research. You need to define the research in a very clear way. You have a clear concept in your mind that I have chosen these areas, this is the problem that I identified, and this is the solutions I need to follow. I have given the solution of this, I have write down the solution of this problem that has been arise. So writing those problems, or meeting up those problems or solutions, where are the sources are there, what are the sources are there, who are the expertise you have taken help from. Okay, lot of questions they will going to ask you, okay, on this particular topic. Okay, this is called the self questioning in problem definition. Okay, self questioning in problem definition, this one is very very important. Ma'am, go to the next. Okay, now the foundation of research. Okay, the research foundation, the foundation of research, or the research foundation. What is the meaning of this? The concept of the research. What is the concept of the research? So, with the definition, research is a systematic and a rigorous process of investigation that aim to expand our understanding the world. It involves the formulation of a research problem, the collection and analysis of data, and the drawing of conclusions that contribute to existing knowledge. This is the concept of the research. This is the concept of the research. It is a systematic and a rigorous process of investigation. It is a systematic process and it is a systematic and rigorous process of investigation that aim to expand our knowledge, understanding of the world. So if somebody asks you what is the definition of a research, this will be the answer. This is the correct definition of a research. Very simple but to the point. Research, it is a systematic and rigorous process of investigation that aim to expand our understanding of the world. Okay, what are the things that involved in the research? It involved the problems, it involved the analysis of the information or analysis of the data, or it also involved the drawing of the conclusion that contribute to the existing of the knowledge. Drawing of the conclusions that contribute to the existing of the knowledge. This is the concept of the research. Then theoretical framework. Then comes to the next is theoretical framework. The theoretical framework of research provide the conceptual foundation and guiding principles that shape the investigation. It helps researchers to situate their study within a broader theoretical context and inform the design, methods, and interpretation of the research. This is the theoretical framework of the research. This is known as the theoretical framework of the research. Okay, it provides the conceptual foundation, guiding principles that shape the investigation. Okay, it also helps the researchers to stimulate their study with a broader theoretical context, information, design, method, and interpretation of the subject. What is the meaning of this theoretical framework? Means you need to study or you need to do your research in a very large way scale. You need to broader the theoretical context. You need to provide information, design information, what are the methods you have implemented in your research work. Okay, what are the interpretations of the research. Each and everything comes under this theoretical framework, is all under theoretical framework. Means analysis of the data, collection of the informations, investigating the data, solutions of through this data from different sources comes under one frame, that is theoretical frame. Remember this thing. Now, objectivity in research. What is the objectivity in research? Maintaining objectivity is a crucial aspect of research. Okay, maintaining objectivity is a crucial aspect of research. Researchers must strive to approach their investigation with an unbiased and impartial mindset, allowing the data and evidence to guide their conclusions rather than being influenced by personal biases or preconceptions. personal biases or preconceptions. This is the objectivity in research. This one is the objectivity in the research. Okay, so always remember, it is the, you need to maintain the objectivity in crucial aspect of the research. It must strive to approach their investigation with an unbiased and impartial mindset, allowing the data and evidence to guide their conclusions rather than being influenced by personal biases or perceptions. Okay, this must be the objectivity of the research. Okay, I have mentioned this point in a paragraph way. I have given this note in a paragraph way. You can make a point of this. How? Suppose the questions come, what are the objectivity in research? You can mention the crucial aspects or objectivity of the research are as follows. Number one, a researcher must strive to approach their investigation with an unbiased and impartial mindset. This may be the first objectivity of the research. Whenever you are doing any investigation, don't be partial, don't be biased. You must be unbiased and you must be investigation without making any partial mindset. सपोज फॉर एन एग्जाम्पल, आपको अगर मैं इसका एग्जाम्पल अच्छी तरह से देता हूं, आप देखिए, अगर कुछ कम्युनिटीज के ऊपर जो पॉलिटिकल साइंस पढ़ते हैं, फॉर एग्जाम्पल जो पॉलिटिकल साइंस में अपना पेपर सबमिट करते हैं, उनको कम्युनिटीज के बारे में थोड़ा सा मेंशन करना ही पड़ता है। अब वहां पर आप रिसर्च में अगर आप थोड़ा सा कम्युनिटीज को लेके पार्शियल रहेंगे तो फिर वो रिसर्च आपका सक्सेसफुल नहीं गिना जाएगा। If you understand my point, then it must be okay. Otherwise, if you have any doubt, you can ask in the next session. Okay. My question is, suppose Hindu Muslim. I am talking about the simple. I am giving an example of Hindu Muslim. Political science में आप research work political science में लिख रहे हो, जहाँ पर हिंदू मुस्लिम्स के बारे में कुछ communities में आ रहे हैं, तो अगर वहाँ कुछ informations या डेटास आपको provide करना पड़ेगा, तो आपको partial नहीं बनना है. You need to be very much impartial and unbiased. ओके जो भी डेटास आप देना चाहते हो आप अटैच करना पड़ेगा. दिस इज द फर्स्ट ऑब्जेक्टिव ऑफ डूइंग रिसर्च. द नेक्स्ट वन इज द allowing the data and evidence to guide their conclusions. You need to open up all your datas. Why? So that if someone where you have stopped do want to do the research further, they can use your paper as a reference to continue the journey further. Okay, that is why it is been clearly mentioned that while doing research you must open all your information mentioning in the research. Okay, so this one is the objective of the second objective of the research. And the next one is you must be biases or preconception. You have a very clear peace of mind. You must have a clear peace of mind while presenting the paper, while presenting the data. You must have a very clear concept. Okay, then only you can submit the paper. Otherwise, no, you cannot submit the paper or your paper will not going to be selected. Is it clear? This one is very much important that you must be unbiased while doing any research work. You must be very much unbiased while doing any research work. You must be very much methodical while doing any research. You must be very much open up while doing your quality research. This is the qualitative aspect of the research. The last one, just a minute, let me drink some water. The next one is construct of the research. How the research work you will going to construct. So, the construct of the research refer to the conceptual framework and the specific variables or elements that are being studied. Okay, that are being studied. Researchers must carefully define and operationalize these construct to ensure the validity and reliability of their investigation. Okay, this one is the construct of the research. What is this meaning is the construct of the research refer to the conceptual framework and the specific variables or elements that are being studied. Researcher must carefully define the operationalize this construct to ensure the validity and reliability of their investigation. Each work, if you are doing any research, it should be very much constructive frame of mind. You are doing should be conceptual framework. Be specific with your variable elements or data that are being studied, that are being done. It must be carefully defined. Every works, every data, every informations must be very much carefully been included in your research. Otherwise, maybe you will going to face the cross question, and in the cross question may your paper will not going to be accepted. So always make sure that there must be have some validity and reliability of the investigation while doing any research. So these are the four important foundations of research. Number one is concept of the research. Next one is theoretical framework. Third one is objective in the research. Third one is construct of the research. Say for example, you if you are doing any your PhD in marketing research, this one may be the concept of the research. Okay, you collected all the information, you collected all the data first. After that, you need to make a theoretical framework of the research that you're going to do on marketing. Okay, you need to keep a framework. You need to see what are the framework means. Proper foundation, what are the principles, what are the shape of investigations, how you have done the investigation part, what are the theoretical context or what are the data that you have designed, how what are the methodologies you have adapted while doing research on marketing research. This must be the theoretical framework. Another one is objectivity in the research. Objective, next one is, suppose in objectivity of marketing research, what is the main objectivity or what is the main goal or what is the main mindset of this research while doing research on marketing. Then you need to put a guide, you need to put a data, you need to put a lot of evidence based in your research. And the last one is the construct of the research, means you need to define the validity and reliability of the research that you are doing or investigating on marketing. Am I clear? So these are the foundations of the research. Number one is concept of the research. Number two is theoretical framework. Number three is objectivity in the research. And the fourth is construct of the research. These are the four part or these are the four parameters where you need to do your research. Ma'am, please go to the next slide. Okay, understanding hypothesis. Understanding hypothesis. You know what is the meaning of hypothesis is all about? It is simply having come to do any conclusion. You need to come to any conclusion. That may be positive conclusion, that may be some negative conclusion. Hypothesis. Okay. What is hypothesis? ये तो मैंने सिंपल सा एक मीनिंग बताया, अब इसको थोड़ा सा इलेबोरेट वे में बताता हूं. अंडरस्टैंडिंग द हाइपोथेसिस. हाइपोथेसिस इज ए टेस्टेबल proposition or statement that serves as a tentative explanation for a phenomenon or a research problem. It represents a predicted relationship between variables and guides the investigation. Okay, so what is hypothesis? It is a testable proposition or statement. It is a testable proposition or statement that serve as a tentative explanation for a phenomenon or research problem. Okay, means you must, while doing research, you first of all you need to be in a testable phase. It is also known as a statement that need to serve as a tentative explanation for the phenomenon of research problem. Okay, this is called hypothesis. Or you can may answer that it is also represent the relationship between variables and guides the investigation. Okay, this is called hypothesis. नाउ हाइपोथेसिस का टाइप्स क्या होता है? हाइपोथेसिस कैन बी क्लासिफाइड एज आइदर नल, नल मीन्स जीरो और नथिंग, invalid or alternative or some alternative are there. सपोज आप दुकान में मेडिसिन लेने के लिए जाते हो तो क्या होता है? सपोज आप जो मेडिसिन लेना चाहते हैं, इफ यू वांट टू हैव द मेडिसिन ऑफ पर्टिकुलर ब्रांड, say for example you want to take crocin or say paracetamol, say for example you reached a medical shop, you request a shop owner to have paracetamol of the same composition, but suddenly the owner of the shop, the medical shop owner, say that sorry, we doesn't have any composition of this particular medicine, that is paracetamol. मीन्स हाइपोथेसिस वहां पर जीरो हो गया। अब इसका ऑल्टरनेटिव क्या है? तब आप बोलिएगा कि मैं सर ये कंपोजिशन का कोई दूसरा ब्रांड का दवाई मुझे दे दीजिए, दैट इज द ऑल्टरनेटिव। सो हाइपोथेसिस इज समथिंग which can be classified either null or some alternatives are there, है ना? एक ही रूट से आप घर जाते हो, कोई दिन रूट बंद हो गया तो वो रूट से आप घर जाने के लिए जीरो हो गया, आप वो रूट से घर नहीं जा सकते हो। देयर मस्ट बी सम ऑल्टरनेटिव वे आर देयर सो दैट यू कैन रीच योर डेस्टिनेशन। ओके, दिस इज कॉल्ड हाइपोथेसिस। Okay, this is called hypothesis. It also suggests that there is no significant relationship or difference between the variables, while the alternative hypothesis H1 possesses specific relationship or differences. इसका मतलब एक hypothesis H0 है, which is means null. H1 जो indicate करते हैं वो alternative way indicate करते हैं. This represent hypothesis 1. Hypothesis null जो है वो represent करते हैं H0. हाइपोथेसिस ऑल्टरनेटिव जो रिप्रेजेंट करते हैं वो रिप्रेजेंट करते हैं H1. नाउ हाइपोथेसिस इन टेस्टिंग पार्ट. नाउ रिसर्चर यूज स्टैटिस्टिकल मेथड टू टेस्टिफाई और टू टेस्ट द वैलिडिटी ऑफ द हाइपोथेसिस by collecting and analyzing the data. The result of the hypothesis testing will either support or reject the proposed hypothesis, leading to further research or drawing of conclusion. ठीक है? This one is another important point. Research hypothesis testing. How you do the research hypothetical testing? Through statistical method. You need to use some statistical device or method to test the validity of the hypothesis. Also by collecting and analyzing the data. Apart from this, it also result the hypothesis with support or reject or leading to further research or drawing conclusions. Suppose you are doing any research. After analyzing or collecting information or collecting data of particular topic, suddenly while doing the research, it is in a testifying mode. Okay, फर्ज करो वो टेस्टिफाइंग मोड में है, लेकिन जैसे जैसे आप एनालाइज कर रहे हो, रिसर्च कर रहे हो, you will find either on the particular topic which you have selected may get support or may get rejected, or you need to draw a conclusion of that particular topic. और थोड़ा सा इलाबोरेट वे में बताता हूं. सपोज आप ह्यूमन रिसोर्स में टॉपिक में आप रिसर्च कर रहे हो, जो भी डेटा इंफॉर्मेशन आपने ह्यूमन रिसोर्स में आपने यूटिलाइज किया है, हो सकता है वो डेटा जो है सफिशिएंट है, ये भी हो सकता है वो डाटा नल एंड वॉइड है, उसका कोई मतलब नहीं है. अगर ऐसा है तो आपको फिर कंक्लूजन में आना पड़ेगा. यू नीड टू कम टू द कंक्लूजन, then only you can complete your research. Otherwise it will go on, the research will go on. That is called hypothesis testing phase. So always remember that there are three aspects of hypothesis type. First of all, what is hypothesis? It is a testable phrase Okay, it is or a statement that serve as a tentative explanation for a phenomena of research. This is called hypothesis. What are the type? H0, which suggests there is no significant relationship or difference between variables. H1, specific relationship or differences. There are two types of hypothesis. H0, which suggests there is no significant relationship or differences between variables. H1 will support some specific relationship or differences. Then comes hypothesis testing. पहले तो आपने प्रॉब्लम्स को अराइज किया, दैट इज हाइपोथेसिस. अब नाउ हाउ टेस्टिंग. टेक्सटिंग पार्ट में आपने जो भी डेटास एनालाइज किया है, जो भी डेटास आपने ड्रॉ आउट किया है, अगर आपको लगता है वॉट एवर द डेटास आई हैव प्रोवाइडेड इट इज सफिशिएंट, देन इट्स ऑल राइट, योर टॉपिक और योर रिसर्च इज कंप्लीटेड. अदरवाइज इसको कोई ऑल्टरनेटिव वे में आपको सजेशंस देना पड़ेगा. ऑल्टरनेटिव वे सजेशंस का मतलब क्या होता है? आपको कोई हेलो, आपको कोई दूसरा रूट या दूसरा फेज में आपको जाना पड़ेगा. मीन्स यू नीड टू कम टू द कंक्लूजन पार्ट, यू नीड टू कम टू द कंक्लूजन पार्ट. इसके अलावा आप रिसर्च को फिर बंद नहीं कर सकते हो. यू कैन नॉट स्टॉप डूइंग योर रिसर्च. ओके, सो it is always remembered, you must remember one thing, that whenever you are doing any research you must come to the conclusion part of the research, otherwise your research will be null and void, it will not going to be accepted. That is called the acceptance of the research. Am I clear? I think मेरी तो मैम आज यही क्लोज कर देते हैं सेशन, छुट्टी हो गया है. ओके, नेक्स्ट सेशन में हम इसके बाद पढ़ाएंगे हमारे डिजाइनिंग द रिसर्च. नहीं मैम आज यही छोड़ देते हैं, इट्स ऑलरेडी ओवर, 6 बजने जा रहा है, छुट्टी हो गया मैम. ठीक है, तो नेक्स्ट हम लोग नेक्स्ट चैप्टर में डिजाइनिंग द रिसर्च हम यहां से स्टार्ट करेंगे. मैम रिमेंबर, डिजाइनिंग द रिसर्च विल गोइंग टू स्टार्ट. चलो, थैंक यू, हैव अ नाइस डे.